Up next, Charge Blade. The way I fight is kind of lazy, to be honest. I sidestep a lot. That's kind of the main thing I want to focus on. And Morph Slam into ED2 or Charge Files into ED1. Something I want to mention is that these recordings are all after I was able to play these 7 weapons. And something cool I learned is from Hunting Horn, and that is you can bait the electric lines. For weapons that are not as fast as Sword and Shield or Dual Blades, this is nice to know, as getting the electric lines to be in a favorable position for you to hit without worry of being in danger. Although I haven't pushed it further with Charge Blade, I just want to mention that. Come on, let's get savage! Here we go, let's do a Morph Slam into ED2. Sidestep. Weak. Sidestep. Now give me a tander. Now, I would have actually morphed back to sword, but here you can see that I'm trying to bait the lines. So I could stay in axe mode and just do an overhead slam, and then morph back to sword. Watch your files, bro. On Thunder Rain, you can charge files into ED1 and 2. If you start to charge when Alatreon lifts his hands, you will be safe. If you are ever caught like this, run sideways and slightly inwards towards Alatreon. It is the fastest way to get out. That's that evade window 3 putting in the work. When Alatreon is flying, one of the best openings is his swipes, as you can safely flinch shot, buff, or sharpen. On Topple, it is standard to either morph to axe or overhead slam if you are already an axe, to skip ED1 and do ED2 into Rising Slash loop. Once again, on Topple, you will morph to skip ED1 and do ED2 into Rising Slash, into ED2, Rising Slash, and loop. On Element Switch Blast, if you are directly in front, you can do a morph into ED2. Thunder Rain, good opportunity to charge into ED1, but in this case, I wanted better file management. Here we go, I'm being patient and I'm trying to bait the lines. Since we are safe, let's do a Morph Slam and morph back. If Alatreon ever does 3 fire lines and backs up, regardless of him flying or not, you're better off packing it up. On the 3 swipes or 2 swipes, there's also another good opportunity to sharpen, like that, or buff, or if he was not enraged, he would do a flinch shot. On the 3 swipes, you also could nick a little more damage, but I mean, if you want to go for it, go for it. See, I'm getting greedy. And that was not worth it. Once again, electric line baiting is really good. And look, you get to attack without any worry. And sidestep. And sidestep again. Right here, I charged too late. Got ED1, ED2. But if he chose to do a different move, I would have gotten hit. On Ice Breath, Morph, ED2, and Morph back. Sidestep. And sidestep again to cancel the animation. Gimme them canders. We are running Evade Window 3, so make sure you iframe that and, I don't know, have at it. Just don't overcommit like I did. Electric Wall, same thing as Ice Breath. You want to Morph, ED2, and then Morph back. But what if you're behind the Electric Wall? It's the same, just roll forward or walk, and then Morph into Axe, ED2, Morph back into Sword.
The Bluetooth device is ready to pair.
Get your healing items ready.
If you are comfortable playing with yellow health, you can squeeze some damage right as Alatreon comes down from Eschaton with a Morph into ED2 and Morph back into Sword.
What a flinch!
On Thunder Rain, you are not limited to charge into ED1. You can manage your files, and that's perfectly fine. Well, now that I am charged, I definitely do want to do an ED1. Wow, look at that sidestep. Always be ready to sidestep. It can save you from a slam and get you a better position to attack instead of iframing through an attack. Sidestepping is a powerful tool in Charge Blade's moveset, and especially with Alatreon, getting into position easily or simply being a foot away is ridiculous. Y'all know the drill. We're gonna do overhead, ED2, rising, ED2, rising. I want to charge my files, but you can morph in the ED2 and morph back into Sword. Once again, sidestep lets me do anything I want. Not much we could do, just prepare, sharpen, buff. Yowza! That was too close. Just get tender!
Hey, yo, watch your files, bro. Watch your files, bro.
This is a missed opportunity to do ED1 and ED2. I'm just a chill guy. What can I say?
Doesn't look like you can shift to fire active mode now.
Here is a great example of what not to do. That was really late. And as you can see, it gets a bit risky. What a sidestep.
Did he just sidestep again? No, he's believing. Alatreon's ready in the big attack. If you're hitting items ready.
Here we go. Morph, ED2, and morph back. Alright, this time we're behind the electric wall, so you can morph, ED2, and then morph back into sword.
What a sidestep.
Again, behind the first line, a little bit tricky this time, but still, morph, ED2, and then obviously morph back into sword. Yeah, 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 get that, yeah, yeah, yeah. Because we're already in axe, just do the overhead slam, ED2, and then morph back into sword. You will pay dearly for that. Of course, I didn't get the Clagger. I was too late on the Clutch Claw. There's not really much for me to say for the rest of the fight. Mainly just keep your files charged and try to be as aggressive as you can on all the openings with the axe. You could do the same thing and morph, rising slash, and then overhead slash, and then morph out. This is a really good opening to flinch shot. Bah! Unlucky. And here's the build. You do not need to follow 100%, but I hope it was helpful. 1736. Not bad.
If it will let me go. It's saying come closer, so here I am.
We think elemental weapons should be able to...
Switch axe time. This, so far, is the hardest weapon to learn out of all the other weapons I have played for this video. And the number one tip is to be comfortable and stand your ground in sword mode. You will easily get the elemental topple if you charge the sword and attack in sword mode. Ice Breath is a good opening to either Wild Swing Morph or charge your sword with double slash into Heavenward Flurry. I know this might get overlooked as it is literally just one case of it happening, but on this retreating ice shot, you should always chase. Here we go, just trying to charge up the sword. On Thundering, you could fit in a heavy slam like so. Always be sidestepping. It's really good for positioning and giving you the option to actually roll, which has more iframes. Ice Breath, here we go. I'm gonna Wild Morph. Try to utilize Downward Fade Slash or Axe Fade Slash as it is a decent retreat option. If you find yourself stuck in sword mode, you can roll morph, which will get you morph to axe and move a crazy distance. Swipes is a really great opening to sharpen, buff, or even go for a flinch shot. On Topple, you have many options such as Wild Morph Loop or Sword Double Slash into Zero Sum Discharge. As you can see, I skipped out on the Double Slash because this was a flinch shot Topple, so it was a lot shorter, and something to note about the Zero Sum Discharge is that most of the time you will not finish Zero Sum Discharge completely, so it's okay to skip out or leave early by just stop mashing the button. On Thunder Rain, I recommend starting Wild Swing when Alatreon lifts his hand. On Element Switch Blast, you can Wild Morph if you stand in front of Alatreon's head. On Thunderwall, you can choose to Wild Morph or charge your sword. You can buff or sharpen on Fire Beam. On both Fire Breaths, never Clutch Claw. This is a great example of being stuck in sword mode. If you find yourself stuck in these situations, stay calm and roll more. When you have distance from Alatreon, carefully observe him. Most times, you would close the distance, but if you are paying attention, you can safely avoid any attack that Alatreon was winding up by simply moving out of the way. You can do this if you want, but I'll leave it to you to decide. By God, that was lucky. On Clagger, if your sword is charged, always go for a Zero Sum Discharge.
Maju! Hey, watch it!
Here's a good example of roll morphing when you're stuck in sword mode. Another good way of using roll morph is when you're in axe mode, so you morph into sword mode. And you would use this when you want to be aggressive. Remember, Thunder Rain, you want to start Wild Swing when Alatreon lifts his hands.
Good job taking Alatreon's power.
Once again, if you have your sword charged, on every Clagger, always zero-sum discharge. Don't always go for a full zero-sum discharge. You can bail out sometimes, and in this case, I was just really unlucky, okay? When Alatreon does his swipes is a good opportunity to buff or sharpen. Something I would like to mention is that you don't only need to zero sum on Clagger. Other potential moments to ZSD are Thunder Rain, Electric Wall, Ice Breath, even Downward Ice Breath.
Doesn't look like it's fire.
You could also ZSD on this move. For example, if you have your sword charged, you could ZSD right here. Again, another ZSD opportunity. If you are in Axe mode when Alatreon does the Dragon Blast, I highly recommend that you roll and then morph into sword. On Electric Wall, you can fit in a Wild Morph. Once again, if you are stuck in sword mode and you need to make distance, you can roll morph.
Like it's not but holy, I am so bad at this. I don't get good, but it is just like
Alatreon's ready in the big attack.
Don't do this. I was way too late to even try this.
Did I just lose an ability? I think I just lost bounds. Oh no! I think the run's over. The run's over. Run is in shambles.
You need to suppress Alatreon's power using elemental weapons.
Okay, am I already at my emergency turn? I don't think I am already at my emergency turn, but I'm gonna get there very soon. Very, very soon. Okay, let's try to get some damage in. I'll be so for real. I probably am not gonna try too hard, but this is gonna be a challenge. Just because I really do want to finish the story. Right now, I want to finish the game, but Adam was like my pride. My pride. I have to do this. Most children learn to stop asking why, but many
Did it! This hunt will go down in history.
got it from
Here's the build.
Let's go with that. That may be a huge mistake. But we're gonna
You do not need to follow 100%, but I hope it was helpful.
we have to get rid of this cheerleader immediately. There's 2 cheerleaders.
What's up, my Glaivers? This is gonna be my laziest weapon because you really just need to pogo everything, so.
We think elemental weapons should be able to shut down Alatreon's powers.
So non-elemental weapons won't be of much use.
So the first thing you want to do is get tripled up and charge your Kinsect. This is where every extract is. On Downward Ice Breath, pogo late. You start when Alatreon starts breathing, then Descending Thrust as Alatreon comes down, and Tornado Slash right after.
Keep an eye on those horns. You should be able to figure out which elements are affected.
On regular Ice Breath, you also pogo and do a Descending Thrust into Tornado Slash. If you want to fight Alatreon when he is flying, some moves that you should avoid are the swipes, the charge, the fire beam or ice shot if you are positioned in front of Alatreon, and the horntail combo.
Only time you can break its horns is when you lose control over the elements.
Doesn't look like it can shift the fire active mode for now.
You can pogo the electric lines if you bait the last line correctly.
Alatreon's power.
On topple, you will do a simple tornado loop. You can pogo Thunder Rain. Remember to charge your Kinsect. Something I would like to mention is that if you think you are always getting hit by his physical attacks, like the arm swipe, double horn swing, or even the slam, I highly suggest you position more towards his arms and give up the option to go for the head. The openings I mentioned all allow you to easily and safely get horn damage if you need to.
Alatreon's readying a big attack. Get your healing items ready.
Shifting elements.
I am sure that this scenario will happen, and it is perfect for Insect Glaive because
I got this.
for electric wall, you need to properly space yourself when you start the pogo.
Good job, Alatreon's power. Doesn't look like it's in progress mode for now.
This is also a really cool opportunity to flinch shot. Although I don't recommend if you're not comfortable with iframing the Dragon Blast. Although I said to pogo a lot, it is perfectly fine to play grounded insect glaive.
Alatreon's ready in the big attack. The hero items ready.
Alatreon's shifting elements.
Called motion. called motion. Some of y'all simply would never be able to fathom getting this many stacks, man. Let me go put everything away real quick in my,
Remember to be careful when you pogo, as Alatreon does the electric lines. Here is the build. You do not need to follow 100%, but I hope it was helpful.